New Leaf Family was founded to be different. I'm Christopher Anderson. I'm one of the co-founders of New Leaf Family. And when Penn Dotson and I founded New Leaf Family, we did it with the intent to start a family law firm from the ground up that was completely different. Now, what do we mean by that? We mean that we found that there were aspects of family law and family law firms that were broken, that didn't work well to serve the interests of the clients that came to work with us. And we dug and dug and dug to find what we thought were the root causes of why these firms were not operating in a way that was in the best interest of their clients all the time. And we came up with two things. We went to fix those two things and then build the firm from the ground up with those things being different. Because if you try to fix it by changing little parts of the firm, the core problems remain. But if you build a firm and all the infrastructure around the core being different, then everything is different. So what are the things? Very simply, they were that, one, the billable hour is not in the best interest of clients most of the time because it incentivizes behavior that is not always aligned with the client. What does that mean? Well, if a law firm is billing by the hour and they want to make more money, then there is an incentive to bill more hours. And that incentive to bill more hours might cause a firm to find conflict, to find drama, to find reasons to bill more time, rather than to move the client towards her goal. Which brings up the second thing, which is that family law firms are run by family lawyers who are trial lawyers, like all the family lawyers at New Leaf Family. And trial lawyers like to win. But family law is a unique aspect of the law where winning is a very difficult thing to define because a relationship is ending. Children are losing a home sometimes that was together. Now, maybe it's in the best interest of the children to not have that family together, but things are changing in ways that are not commensurate with winning. Now, two people going through a divorce, if they follow the New Leaf method, may find and should find that they are moving towards a life that is more in keeping with their goals, with how they want life to be. And they have just found that that life is no longer compatible with their spouse, which is why we then created the Polaris process. And the Polaris process just means that from the very first time that we interact with a potential client all the way through their case, we first establish what they want life to be like at the end of the divorce, and a year later, and 2 years later, after it's all said and done. What's the life you want? Where do you want to live? How do you want to live? Who do you want to live with? And all the details around that. And we make sure that you're clear on that so that we can be clear on that, so that every action we take after that is designed to bring you closer to that goal. So between eliminating the billable hour and establishing the Polaris process, that forms the core of New Leaf Family and what makes New Leaf Family unique among family law firms. Now, you might ask, well, if you eliminated the billable hour, do you not charge us? And the answer is, of course we do. The family law lawyers need to make a living, and we do bill fees, but we bill them in a completely different way. What we do is we establish the complexity of your case, and we then set up a fixed monthly amount that you pay as a subscription legal services fee. And so you know from the beginning of your case how much your case is going to cost from beginning to end. If your case goes to trial, there is also an additional trial fee, but you know what that's going to be from the first day you start working with us. So everything's predictable from day one to day end. And you know exactly what it's going to take to stay with us. And we work with you in the very beginning to make sure you can stay with us until the end of your case so that you're not put in the position, as often are with law firms that bill by the hour, of running out of money because the bill got higher than you expected. And for that month, you can't make it and the firm can no longer work with you. We pride ourselves that the number of clients that have to leave because they can no longer afford our services is much, much smaller than with firms that run by the billable hour. In working with the Polaris process and making sure that we are following your goals, our legal team is dedicated to that process. And they are all about, because of that, they are about your future and not the fight. Now, let me be clear, because sometimes when I say that, people think that, oh, they're just all hand holding and, we'll stand in a circle and sing nice songs to make things go forward. And that's not it at all. We are all trial lawyers, and we will fight for you when fighting is what's necessary to achieve your goals. But we're not about the fight. We're not in it for the fight, because we know that you're not in it for the fight. You, at the end of the day, are in it for your future. The fight's what's happening now, but your future is happening for the rest of your life. And so your team and the legal team at New Leaf Family are all dedicated to this process and to making sure that their representation is focused on your future, so that they're empowering you. When you're working with a team that's empowering you, that makes your experience different, because you're now reminded sometimes, quite honestly, to get out of today, to get your head out of the current strife, to get your head out of the whatever drama is happening, and to refocus again on that future. And because of that, and because of that constant reminder to move you ever so slowly sometimes, but ever so surely towards that future, the client experience is one of development, of one of growth, one of empowerment, so that you are making decisions from that place of empowerment, and you can make the best decisions for yourself and your family. Following through that process, your experience can be one of growth, can be one where both you and the rest of your family experience growth towards what you can become and what you can be, rather than getting stuck in retribution and strife and difficulties and thinking that that's what your life is going to consist of. At New Leaf Family, we help you turn over that new leaf and start walking into the future that you deserve.